skull. Let's add something right in the center here for the bridge of the nose. That might be kind of tricky. So start out with a sphere, scale it down. Looks like a little bit of a clown there. Global scale, we could go up. So we go to global and XYZ so we can make it smaller. Let's put it into place. Grab. And probably, let's see. Probably add a sphere. Let's say that's okay for now. Let's see what we could do about I'm making this up as I go along. So there's a bunch of different ways this could be done. Scale, only global. I see what I'm doing here. I'm going to scale global and XYZ. Bring this back. That's interesting. Scale only global so I can flatten that a little bit. I don't want it to be too prominent. I kind of like what was happening there with this looking like the base of the nose up at the top. It was pretty cool. This could probably come out a little bit more. Let's see. It's not a bad location. Maybe this is just a little too far forward. And maybe scale that up a little bit. Global and XYZ. Bring it back. Flatten it a little bit more with scale only global. Bring the mouse down. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I want to figure out what to do with the nose. This is a pretty decent idea forming here. Wonder if this should come forward a little bit more. Can we go to scale? Let's thin that up. Let's tilt that. Rotate global. I'm going to press enter for lock. Let's do this. I'm still going to go back to scale, global, do the mouse to flatten it a little bit more, rotate out. Let's see what happens. I'm going to use the grab tool, put it in place. That's kind of a bit much. Go back to scale, global, move the mouse, grab, tilt it, rotate it back. Maybe This is a lot of finessing stuff, but I don't mind taking the time showing you that you could do it. And if you have a reference of the skull in front of you, I'll show you how to do that. It might go quicker, it might be easier. Let's see, so far this is a skull with spheres, just using basically grab, scale, and rotate. That's all we're using right now. So that I'm going to unlock by pressing enter. I'm going to add another sphere and see what I could do with the nose on that without it looking like a clown nose. So that's about the right location. So maybe if I go to the scale tool, only use global, move the mouse upward to get kind of that shape. Then maybe if I use the tilt, wait, let's go back to scale, flatten it out a little bit more. So I'm going to keep it on global scale, move the mouse over, slide it over. Now I'm gonna press enter to lock into that. I'm gonna rotate, use rotate global. So I could tilt it forward a little bit, maybe tilt it forward a little more. That's not horrible. Maybe we could do something here. We could add a little sphere here. I mean, I think there's another way to do it. I'd probably just repeat this form, put it behind it. That would work. Is it knows what? Yeah, I think I would want to do that. So we're going to add a sphere. We're going to go to scale, global, and XYZ. Bring the mouse down. Bring this into place. Probably what I said earlier would have worked fine. So scale, global, draw it up a little bit. That's not too bad. Probably bring the mouth out a little bit more. I think maybe we could add another sphere. Let's find out what happens. Add sphere, scale, global and XYZ, bring the mouse down. Grab, global. Maybe scale that up a little bit. Scale, global, and XYZ. Grab. Let's find out. Maybe I guess scale a global and XYZ. Maybe it could be bigger. That's not too bad. Although I want it to come back here, so I'm not sure if I need to. Let's just. That's not too bad. I could live with that. So it seems like there's something missing here. Does it need another sphere there? Let's find out. Scale, global, and XYZ. Bring the mouse down. Bring this into place. Go back to scale. A little bit smaller. Maybe that's okay. Also, maybe I'd like to, I'm gonna go back to scale, just global. There we go, that's probably good. So what I'm gonna do is probably add a couple spheres down here to square off the chin a little bit. I'll probably borrow these two. Control C, then V. There we go. Scale global and XYZ. Bring it down a little bit. Put these into place. We could put the mastoid process right here at the base of the skull. That's important because muscles attached there. It's right below the ear hole. We could start out with forms kind of like that. So Control C, then V. Grab global. Bring them in because we don't want them as wide as the widest point of the skull. Bring them a little more forward. Bring them in a little bit. That's pretty good. We could add occipital protuberance right here, which is a single sphere. Scale global and XYZ. Bring that down. Doesn't have to be much. Some people it's pronounced as very well. It's very pronounced. Some people it's not. It's just a little bit of a peak form. But you know, if we could add it, we'll add it. Yeah, I think probably we could still add a corner right here, the angle of the jaw. We have at least some kind of idea of the mandible, but we could probably square it up a little bit as we have here. So Control C, V, grab global. That's not too bad. All right, that's part one of the skull. That's probably good enough to get you started. I guess I'll do a part two where we can maybe see what we could do about adding teeth. Just see how far we could take it this way.